let's take a look at what's in your shares this week and what you can do with them. So, let's just start with the thing everybody's talking about this week, lettuce. So, we know about the big old parasite that's going around. It's making it really tricky for people with their lettuce and their berries. But I have more to say about that at the end of this, and we'll talk more. This lettuce is safe lettuce. It is hydroponically grown from our local farmers with clean water. So this is your green butter lettuce, which of course is amazing for any sandwich, salad, and safe for you to eat. Head lettuce is going to be much safer for you to eat right now with everything going on. And we also have kale. This is lacinato kale. So lacinato kale is very sturdy, and we love greens that are sturdy. They can handle a little bit more. So very delicate greens. You want to do a quick, either raw or a quick steam. These you can steam or you could saute. You can put them in a soup or a stew. They still don't want to go too long. So you might want to put your kale in there maybe at the end of your soup or stew for the last 10 minutes, or saute just 5-10 minutes. It doesn't take much, so you want to keep all those nutrients intact. But it is really easy to work with. And look at these local sweet banana peppers. I love them. If you're afraid of a hot, spicy pepper, don't worry. These aren't hot and spicy. These are sweeter and much more mild and way easier to use. These actually are very high in vitamin C, so great immune booster. Also, they're really good for bone health because they have a lot of vitamin K in them. So, very, very helpful for the body. And what do we do with them? Yes, you can eat them raw in your salads. They're good. A lot of people do a fast pickle with them, and they will pickle them with apple cider vinegar or a white vinegar. Pretty easy to do, chop slices and pickle them. But one of the favorite things I like to do with them, because look how big these are, is I love to cut them lengthwise, open them up, scoop the seeds out, cut the ends off, and stuff them. So good. Depending on your flavor and your palate, you could stuff them with anything. My favorite thing to do is to get sauteed veggies with a lot of caramelized onion and garlic in there, because I love my flavors, and put it in there and stuff them that way. My husband eats meat, and so of course he will stuff them with just a little bit of ground elk, and that's what he adds to his. Other things we have are these local beets. So, local beets, as you know, super heart healthy, amazing antioxidants, great for blood pressure regulation and even blood sugar regulation. So, they do have a little bit of sugar in them. If you eat a large amount or juice them, you'll get more sugar from them. So, if you steam them, bake them, saute them, you'll have a little bit less sugar in them that way. A lot of people who are afraid of them because they have a very strong flavor, just think of it as you're putting it as an ingredient with other things you do like and roast them. It makes it so much easier for you to eat in your palate. So I would try roasting and see how that does for you. Also, amazing cucumbers. It's summer. We love our cucumbers. Cucumbers are so easy to just pop in any salad. My favorite thing to do is to chop this up with that butter lettuce as a salad, right? Or even better, I use my microgreens for the salad, and then all I do is add a little bit of our cashew sour cream here for dressing, and it's so good. It's all about flavor, right? But they're also really good for dipping into that sour cream dip, or maybe you have a good healthy ranch dip that you want to make and dip into, and it's really good for kids for a snack, and very hydrating for summer, which is really what we need in this heat, right? So we also have these jumbo avocados. Remember that if you don't use the whole avocado at one time, slice it open, keep the pit, put the pit back in there when you put it into the refrigerator, and keep it contained, because these will break down the rest of your produce because they do off gas in the fridge. And putting that pit in there will keep them from oxidizing quite as fast, which means they won't turn brown quite as fast. I do this when I make my guacamole as well. I'll put the pit in there, and everyone in my family knows, hey, the pit's in there, don't eat it, but it keeps it from turning brown while it's out on the table waiting for people to eat it. And look at these amazing portobello mushrooms. They're so good, right? So yeah, you get a lot of vitamin K from these guys, good for digestion, immune boosters always. But again, I love stuffing these. I just take the gills off. These are the gills, that brown part, scrape them out, and then stuff it with whatever it is you're stuffing. I love to make a quinoa mixture with my um, onion and garlic, and yellow onion in particular is a little bit sweeter. And so I love to take the yellow onion and kind of caramelize it a bit and put it in here and stuff it with some quinoa, lots of veggies, and then pop the whole thing in the oven to bake, maybe 20 minutes max. That's all you need for this guy. And I do brush it with just a touch of olive oil before I pop it in there, but these are great. These also make a good meat substitute for those who don't eat meat because it's got that texture of it. Plus, you get some protein in there from this, which is very, very helpful. We also have these strange looking but yummy local carrots. So, rainbow carrots. This is a different variety of carrot. That's why people are saying, oh, they taste different. They're not as sweet as a normal orange carrot variety. These are more heirloom carrot, the way that they were actually originally meant to be. And so they have more of a savory, earthier flavor. I love sauteing these or steaming them. Steaming them is my favorite thing to do if I'm not eating them raw. I know that when I eat these raw, I'm not expecting sweet carrots. I am expecting a savory. So these do go really well in your salads. Just remember how you're going to use it and what you're doing with it for flavor. We also have Roma tomatoes. Tomatoes are a little tricky this season because there is a little bit of a shortage. You're not seeing as much, and you're seeing the price of tomatoes go way up. And that is because there is a little bit of some crop issue this year. The droughts really hit these watery produce, and tomatoes are one of them. So this is why they're kind of hard to find. So savor the tomatoes as you use them. We also have zucchini. These are smaller this week, so I do like them when they're smaller. I will just dice them up and pop them in my dish, or you can stick them and dip them into something and eat them raw, which is a really nice summer snack. So you're staying out of the potato chip bag, right? They're really good for digestion too, so that is very, very helpful. The next thing we have are Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. They're in the cruciferous veggie category, which means very, very nutrient dense, way more than some of our other veggies. So these guys are very heart healthy, anti-cancer, which is very nice. And they actually contain B6 in them, which is great for the brain. They are also a prebiotic. That means food for your probiotic. What does all that mean? Gut health. If you have gut issues, gut health. Now, some people find that it's a little too much if you do a large amount. So I like to steam them a bit. Steaming them maybe 5 to 10 minutes. When they're chopped, you don't have to steam them quite as long. It releases the glutathione, therefore they're even more detoxifying for the body and a little bit easier to digest. We also have these baby butternut squash from our local farm, which I just love. The flavor's so nice. You definitely want to make sure you're getting rid of the peel. So I'm the lazy chef. You can absolutely peel them, absolutely. But I actually prefer to slice them, take the seeds out, steam them very quick. They'll steam in a steamer because they're so small. Once you touch the outside skin and you feel that it's soft, you know that it's ready, and you can just scoop the butternut squash right out of it, and that way you're leaving the skin behind, which is very, very nice and helpful. So let's talk about these apples. We have so many apples, you guys. We've got a couple different types of apples in our shares this week. We have our Fuji apple, our Pink Lady apple, and Cosmic Crisp, which are amazing. Cosmic Crisp are way more like your dessert, little more sugar in there, way more flavor, almost like a cherry apple or fruit cocktail kind of apple. Really good flavor. These are really good. The Fuji and the Pink Lady are really good for your basic apple, whatever it is you're doing with it. You want a snack, you want to dip it in your nut and seed butter. This is really nice for that. Remember, it's summer, and no, apples do not have to go in the refrigerator. But if you want a crunchier apple with a little more water content, a little crisper to them, put them in the fridge. Even if it's just an hour before you eat them, it'll crisp them right up, and maybe your little ones will like the snack you're offering a little bit better when it's done that way. We also have green grapes, which are really nice. So anytime we have berries or grapes, you're going to eat them pretty quickly, because they'll break down fast. If you're not going to eat your grapes fast, I will pull mine off of the stem and I actually freeze them. And then eating frozen grapes in the summer is a great summer treat. It really can cool you off. It's kind of like a popsicle in mini bites, and it's so good without the sugar. Also, I've used this for my babies when they were teething. They love it. We also have strawberries. So yummy. Obviously, we know what to do with strawberries. We're going to talk about how to wash them the best. And if you're here at our co-op, guys, we love to reuse containers, berry containers. We wash them and then reuse them. So please bring any type of berry container, whatever size they are, because we will always reuse them. We get our berries in bulk and then we distribute them out for portions into our shares. And of course, we've got bananas, which are really helpful. Again, you know what I also like to do is I will chop them up and put them maybe with the strawberries and blend it a little bit with coconut milk that has no sugar in it. Pop it in my freezer, and then I have nice cream without any sugar, right? It's also a really nice summer treat for kids. Then, of course, we have yummy D'Anjou pears. Love the pears. These taste different than the Bartlett. These are a little more of a spice flavor to them, which is really nice to actually cook with. I eat them raw, honestly, and I just put them into my dips. We almost skipped this guy, our local yellow potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. Yukon Gold have a little bit richer flavor and a little bit less of the carby, starchy stuff that the russets have. So just a little bit better for you. So I know everyone's been worried about this parasite going around, and they're worried about it, everything. I do have a little bit of a video I did to explain deeper that most of the parasites are coming from what we call valley farms rather than the flat farms. Valley farms tend to collect runoff from everything, from leaky sewage to cattle ranches to everything, and that's how we get parasites in that water. And the water then goes in, of course, watering the vegetables and fruits. That's what happened. So here's a recipe that you can do for your own produce wash that is specific to anti-parasitic and specifically this parasite that's going around. You can take a quarter a cup of apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. I prefer the apple cider vinegar here for this recipe. And 3/4 of a cup of distilled water with 6 drops of essential oil. And I like to use 3 drops clove essential oil, 3 drops oregano essential oil. You could also pop thyme in there, but the clove and the oregano are known to specifically target this type of parasite. The way you want to mix it is put your essential oils in with your vinegar, stir it up to kind of emulsify it first, then add it to the water. You're going to want this in a spray bottle that's glass because essential oils will break down your plastic, but shake it up really well. Spray your produce, kind of massage it in for about 2 minutes max. Then you want to give it a really good rinse with ice cold water. Dry off your produce, stick it in the fridge. You're ready to go. So this is how we can keep you guys safe. I hope that tips like this really help you. If you like videos like this, just give us a like and please share them with a friend. Thanks.